All right, it's time to meet this week's second chance pet. Now, some say curiosity killed the cat, but curiosity is what makes this adorable cat so fun and so friendly. His name is Curious. He's an 8-year-old that loves socializing with people and truly interested in the world around him. But he does come with some medical conditions that some families need to know about if you are thinking about adopting him. So joining us live now to introduce us to Curious is Sam Ellingson with the Humane Society for Southwest Washington. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us today. We're just wrapping up a little playtime with our friend Curious, who he's going back and forth between wanting to sit here with me and then positions himself immediately under the camera where he can't be seen. So I'm glad we got a little glimpse of him before before he decided to ban it.
That is a very cat of him to do that. Yeah.
Yes,
so okay,
absolutely.
his name is Curious, and I know this sounds obvious to be like, hey, how did he get his name? But how did he get his name?
Yeah, I mean, he sort of lives it, right? He is a very curious little guy. He's very interested in the space around him. He loves toys. I've been trying to position some of his favorite ones here. This little fuzzy octopus, for example, is one that he likes to take and kick, and then we'll take it off into a corner. And occasionally is sometimes playing tug of war with us. But right now is breakfast time, so we're able to keep him in frame a little bit. But he lives that curious cat life. He likes to explore. He likes to come over and say hi and see what you're up to. He's very interested in my coffee this morning. So he's going to be the kind of cat who's going to want to explore that new home and learn all about the world around him.
I mean, a cup of coffee is not going to hurt anybody. He does have. We all need it. We all need it. It's been the holidays too.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
So he does have some medical conditions. I alluded to that as we introduced Curious. What conditions do potential families need to be aware of with him?
Right. So Curious came to the shelter a handful of weeks ago. And when he came in, they did blood work on him and discovered that he was diabetic. And so at that time, he was moved out into a foster home where he could receive insulin on a more regular schedule than we're able to provide in the shelter. And fortunately, after a couple weeks in foster, and he came back to the shelter for another exam, and they found that his diabetes had been really well managed. And so they transitioned him off of insulin, and now he's just on prescription food. So he's able to manage his diabetes, which is now in remission, by just having a special food, which is great for him because it means there's going to be less impact on him when it comes to getting that insulin shot, and also a lot easier for his family too.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's a lot easier than needing to try to manage regular insulin injections from time to time. What does this mean, though, in terms of vet care with Curious? Does the family that adopts him need to be a little bit more on top of it than maybe a cat without this kind of issue?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So it doesn't, his diabetes isn't really going to have a tremendous impact on his quality of life. He's going to live a life that's going to be pretty similar to most cats. We just want to make sure that his family is really on top of getting him in for exams, making sure that they're doing everything they can to keep him healthy and happy. And a big part of that is going to be that preventative care, taking them to vet once a year to make sure that he's happy and healthy. And outside of that, he's going to live a pretty normal life with his new family.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it right now. You can see his personality. He's like looking for the toys, trying to get some smells and some scratches in there. So what kind of homes is he going to be doing well with? Do you have to be worried about kids at all? Any other cats or dogs?
He's going to be a great fit for most homes. We don't have any reason to believe that he couldn't share his home with other cats or a dog. He is a really tall cat, and so I think he's going to be able to hold his own in terms of like having his own territory in his new home. He should do just fine. Of course, we want to make sure that if there are other kids in the home, we want them to meet him in advance. And then outside of that, his transition to his new home, we just want them to be a little bit gradual. Give him the ease him into that new environment to help him become more comfortable.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, he is he's not on camera because he's living up to his name right now. Sam, appreciate you.
He's looking for third breakfast at this point. He's really going for it.
That's awesome. Well, you can go check out Curious for yourself and swing on by the Humane Society for Southwest Washington. Sam, always appreciate the time. Good to see you.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Take care. And again, if you're interested in meeting Curious or check out any of the other pets that are up for adoption right now, go to hssw.org.